Gillette, it's over. I'm done with you. I just watched your ad where you pretty much mischaracterized men and suggested that we're inherently sexual predators and bullies due to our masculinity. It was vile, reprehensible, abhorrent, and disgusting, and I can't believe the insinuations made there where we're painted as one-dimensional men that sit around like idiots around the barbecue devoid of any sort of critical thought, like we're incapable of critical thinking, and that we have these natural inclinations to just be sexual predators without any rationale, or that our masculinity and behavior somehow inherently makes us bullies, when none of that is true. We're not inherently sexual predators and certainly do not enjoy being painted in that fashion. Matter of fact, that's something a lot of men are vehemently against, and we don't condone the kind of behavior you see from the likes of R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein and the Kevin Spaceys of the world. And I think it's absolutely reprehensible that we're depicted in such a way. Furthermore, I think it's even more disgusting that somehow you insinuate that if boys roughhouse together or have any sort of competitive nature, that'll further lead down to bullying and sexual assault later down the road. That's simply not true. Growing up as a boy, many times I would roughhouse and wrestle with the other boys, or we'd have feats of strength or competitions, see who could run to the store the fastest, jump the highest, shoot the most three-pointers, hit the baseball the furthest, etc., etc. And that wasn't just like limited to gender. We did that with girls as well. We didn't exclude any girls. Like as boys, you don't think about gender or race. These are things that are taught in the home, in the school. As young boys, you're pretty colorblind, you're pretty neutral. Your main focus is just on enjoyment, fun, recreation. You're not concerned about all these other things. So I think it's irresponsible to suggest that somehow if a boy roughhouses, he's later going to become a bully. And if a boy's roughhousing, he's later going to become a sexual predator. Furthermore, I think it's incredibly disgusting that you suggest that somehow we sexually assault women for sport. There's that one clip where the guy accused grabbed the woman's ass and there's an applause, like somehow that's socially acceptable behavior and that we encourage that. No, we don't. It's absolutely disgusting that somehow we're being depicted in this one-dimensional manner, and the solution is to fight against masculinity, because those masculine traits, those inherent masculine traits, is really the genesis of this kind of vile behavior. And it's not the case at all. And somehow, this kind of behavior really demonstrates how out of touch you are with your target demographic and how you've alienated us. See, when we look to get a Gillette product, what we're looking for is try and get a good shave. So that way we look good for our job, friends, family, ourselves, just because it makes us feel good. And we don't appreciate it being lectured and looked down upon and degraded and denigrated in this fashion. You injected politics where it wasn't necessary. You injected politics where it doesn't belong. There's no need for this kind of bias, political thought in an advert for a shaving commercial. It simply doesn't need to be there. It doesn't belong. And the fact that you went out and denigrating us is absolutely disgusting. I, for one, disagree with it. And I'm not going to take a stand with that. I'm done with you. I'm done with your products. I refuse to support a company that paints men in such a one-dimensional manner and suggests that any inclination of masculinity leads to bullying and acts of sexual assault and sexual harassment. It's absolutely disgusting that there's the one clip where the beautiful woman walks by and the guy's like an uncaged dog. He can't hold back. You see him like he gets ready to leap. He's there. He's like, oh, I gotta run. Attractive girl. Gotta go hit her up. It's like, that's not the case. It's not like we're some bloodhound that just smell fresh blood and we can't control ourselves and we go chasing after a woman without any sort of rationale or thought. We're not that simple. We're not that one-dimensional. We're complex people with, our own thoughts and feelings, and to be painted in such a one-dimensional manner, to push this agenda that doesn't belong in this commercial. It's unforgivable. You know, I can't believe you do that, and you've successfully alienated your target demographic, and I'm done with you. And I think a lot of men are done with you. And we're tired of being depicted in this manner just because of the actions of a few bad apples. All of a sudden now, like, all men are being painted as sexual assaulters and harassers and bullies. I mean, like, I've had enough of that. You know, it's not because of masculinity that this happens. I own a Braun product here, this Braun shaver, which you happen to own. It's under the ownership of Gillette, which is owned by you, Procter & Gamble, and I'm done with this. I'm switching over to Panasonic. I got a Fusion and your shaving cream, and I'm done with that too. After I'm done, I'll be switching to Edge or Dollar Shave Club or some other alternative, because I simply refuse to support an agenda that depicts men as one-dimensional creatures that can't resist any impulse towards women and are incapable of any critical, rational thinking and sit around like a bunch of idiots around barbecues, clueless, and get drunk and watch sports, because that's what you're implying we as men are. A bunch of guys are only good for slobbering around the barbecue or sitting down on a Chesterfield or a sofa watching sports, clueless to anything going on in the world. As if we have no capabilities for rational thought. It's disgusting. I'm done with it, and I'm done with you. I refuse to buy your products, and I refuse to support your company. And I encourage anyone else to not buy any more Gillette products and switch to something else, because this kind of depiction, it's harmful. You don't realize the kind of precedent you're setting for the younger youth, who are now going to be confused and conflicted. See, the world's a competitive place. Competition's natural. And you can try and control the environment and strip all the competition away, but when they grow up and reach adulthood, it's a very cold world. And it's incredibly competitive, whether it's for salaries, jobs, positions, and spots in good schools. It's incredibly competitive, and nobody gives a damn about you in this world. You got to be able to look after yourself, and you got to be able to fight for what's yours. And if you're incapable of doing that, you're going to go nowhere in this world. And essentially, this kind of behavior just sets up the future generation of young boys for failure and leaves them confused, whether it's how they interact with the woman or how they interact in the environment they find themselves in as an adult, whether that's post-secondary school, the workplace, or a combination of both. I refuse to support any sort of agenda like this. I'm done with it. I'm done with you. It's nice knowing you, but it's over. And I'll never come back to your products or your company or support any of your services. I'm done. And hopefully you are too. You know, Gillette, the best product a man can get rid of.